Good evening. I'm glad to be here. This is the first time coming out to this parking lot event, although I've been hearing about it on social media. Again, my name is Anton Sakharov. Thank you for inviting. Anton Sakharov, running for governor. I'll just spend a few minutes telling you why I'm running, where I'm coming from, and what I would like to bring to Washington. And then, do we have time for Q&A? We'll see.
In the end, yeah.
Or in the end, you guys can come by and ask questions. So, I was born in the Soviet Union, and I have witnessed the socialism in the Soviet Union for the last decade that was there. And my parents brought me here to America as Jewish refugees. We were allowed to resettle. And when I got here to America, I was 11. And what a change. I came here, I knew 2 words in English. I always say 2 because I knew yes and Coca-Cola. And that was enough to survive. No, I'm just kidding. And then spend the next few years learning the language, the culture, and actually did have to take the test to become an American citizen, which I'm very proud of. And I wish we taught this in schools because I want my kids to do the same. Although they were all born here, I think it's very very important to know the history and to know what this country stands for. So I feel very proud of being American. I respect the flag, which, apologize again, I should have taken off my hat. I cherish the passport, the blue passport that opens a lot of doors in the world, and it's a great feeling. It's a great country, and I love it. And I decided to run because I could not accept Washington becoming socialist. We have socialists. I don't know if we should clap or scream at them, but I can't believe we have open socialists elected in Seattle, and it's spreading throughout the country, throughout the state. And I couldn't sit on the sidelines and say, you know, I'll just sit out and do nothing. I said, I'm going to fight. I'm going to do something to stop it because I've seen it. I've seen the corruption, the destruction, the pain that it brings, and it's coming here. We're already seeing it, what's happening in Seattle, and it's going to just continue spreading unless we put our foot down. And it's not, forget, democratic socialism does not exist, so you guys know. It's a fake term. Because, you know how I know? Soviet Union had elections. You only have one party on the ticket, so that is a fake claim that we have democratic socialism. Socialism kills, and we can't allow it to happen in Washington State. So I decided to run because I wanted to spread the message how bad socialism gets, and it's more than just the economic piece. It's about government control, and we see it every day. We see it coming from Seattle and across the state. Minimum wage, rent control, wearing a mask, gatherings. It's all about government control, and that's what socialism is, because the only way to implement socialistic policies is to control your daily lives. In Soviet Union, they calculated a square footage that a person can have where they live. How many loaves of bread can you actually eat during the month? They calculated every single thing that people consume. I mean, they calculated cars are not needed because of, we have public transportation. And when people actually started earning some money, the average wait for a car was 5 years to purchase. Because they didn't make them enough, because they calculated that we don't need them. And that's what we have today. There you go. Well, this is the reason why I decided to run. In fact, I was the first candidate to declare. I declared back in April of 2019, before anybody else came on. But yes, we have an original 5, which is kind of where we started with. What I would like to bring to Washington State, aside from stopping socialism, which is the #1 priority for any of us, and I want to make sure that we don't even come close. I have 3 promises when I'm elected. #1, there will be no state income tax. #2, there will be no state income tax. And #3, there will be no state income tax. Absolutely no taxes. In fact, I'm running on no taxes for all of us. I want to reduce the taxes that we pay because it's outrageous how much we pay. I want to eliminate death and estate recovery taxes. I want to cap residential taxes because guess what? They keep coming up. And for those who are on fixed income, it's getting outrageously expensive to live here. We got to stop that. And I'm going to do all I can to make sure that there's absolutely no tax increases for small businesses, because a lot of small businesses are getting hit with constant taxes that are coming up every year, and we got to make sure that our small businesses are protected, because they're the lifeline of our state. And within that, I want to make sure we cut regulations, but I'll get into that later if you guys have questions. But first of all, cutting taxes. Second is infrastructure. Our infrastructure is crumbling. We all know that. There's a bridge that's now not being used because it's crumbling. We have roads that haven't been paved in years and decades. We have schools across the state, and it's mind-boggling. We have schools that don't have fire alarms or sprinklers, which is unacceptable to me. That's why I want to rebuild the infrastructure. I will work with President Trump and federal administration to find the funding, because we can't be home to Amazon, Microsoft, and at the same time our schools don't have sprinklers. That's ridiculous. Unacceptable. So I'll do all I can to rebuild the infrastructure. And number three, safety. Safety is a huge component of mine as a father of three, and it encompasses a lot of things. And I made a promise on campaign trail, and I'm going to keep that promise. On day one of my election, I'm going to end sanctuary state. Because, thank you. As a legal immigrant, sanctuary state, sanctuary city, sanctuary county makes absolute no sense. It's not safe for anyone, and it's actually creating a more dangerous environment for all of us. So I'm gonna end that at the state level, and I'll do all I can to work with cities and counties to end that as well.
Fund the police.
What was that? Oh, absolutely. So the next one, law and order. We need law and order, absolutely. I respect law and order. In fact, one of the questions that came up on a few debates ago, well, what do we do with the budget? We have $8 billion budget hole. And I say, let's cut everything, 10% except law enforcement. We should not cut law enforcement, and I support the police departments. That's why I've been the only candidate who called out that those police officers who are fired by the city or municipalities for doing their job should be rehired by the state. Right. And if we do that, we send a clear message to all organizations out there, cities, municipalities, counties, that the police officers are here to stay because they're protecting us every day. And I fully respect the police officers. There's another group out there, it's called Blue Tuesday. I encourage you guys to look it up. Just go to any police department and say thank you on a Tuesday, bring them some snacks, show appreciation for the job that they're doing. Second Amendment. I support Second Amendment just like the rest of the Bill of Rights, because that's what makes America the best country in the world. This is the reason why we exist. And it's not just Second Amendment, it's First Amendment, it's all of the amendments, but as a Second Amendment, I'm a concealed carry, I'm a lifetime NRA member, and I support Second Amendment. I think this is the reason why this country is so great, because we have the right to protect ourselves. Thank you, and that's part of the safety, right? That's how we protect ourselves. I also, the only candidate who said, I want to commit ending school shootings. That's why I want to implement real school security with real perimeter, controlled entrance, and security guards. And guess what? Who I want to hire as security guards? Our veterans. That's what I want to do. I want to make sure that we get our veterans back, get their jobs back, and let them do what they're good at so they can guard our kids, because I don't want to hear another school shooting. I have a father of three, and I don't want to hear that because of some background checks I didn't complete. It's all BS, right? We can protect our kids, and I'm sorry, I'm just frustrated because we hear those school shootings and kids are getting killed, and we have a way to solve that. You know, Israel solved it with school security in 1950, 78? They haven't had a single shooting since then. So it's totally doable. I have a huge program regarding safety about tackling homelessness and others, but those are kind of my top three of what I want to solve. And lastly, I am a Trump supporter, so much that I'm running as Trump Republican. So look me up on the ticket. I'm the only candidate out of those five that are running as Trump Republican, because I strongly believe what President Trump is doing is great for this country, and I want to do the same for this state. Thank you very much. Look me up on evergreatstate.com. because I want to make Evergreen Evergreat State. So evergreatstate.com. I have some signs in my car, and here's some here, and I also have some literature on the table. Come by. I'll answer every question you guys